Hey everyone, this is the Noble Artist here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to paint on your Viking shield, or the design for your Viking shield. Let me correct myself. Now, I am making this video because I am trying to make the video for the contest, which is going to be a weapons contest, which is going to involve a shield and a weapon. Now, I was going to do, that video is going to be first, so this is going to come out after that, so if you want to see the contest video, I will put a link right there will be a link for the actual contest videos, but this is going to just be a video on how to paint the shield. Now you can use whatever you want for your shield. This piece I got at, I think, Michael's. It came in a pack and it had a bunch of stuff in it, and I just found a shield shape and I like this one, and of course I put my patented hand grip on the back of it. And I painted it gray first. I primed it. This is all Tester's paint. I used Tester's gray just to get a base coat, which is always good. And then with my small hole punch, I punched out these metal little rivets and pull around there, which my paintbrush just knocked one off. But I will put that back. So just ignore that. It never happened. It never happened. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this. Now, there's a ton of different designs. I've never done this before. I'm going to YOLO it. So what I was going to do is yellow and blue swirls, and you'll understand that once I start doing it. I also have a centerpiece right here, this little center knob, which I will glue onto the center when everything is dried. I will also be using silver for the outline, and hopefully this will all go well. Alrighty, so first things first, the scary part. Again, I've never done this before, so if I mess up, it's on you guys. You're making me nervous. Alrighty, so let's just put a little bead in the middle so I know where the middle actually is. Okay. Let's start from this angle. I'm going to start from the top and then just swing it around right about there, making sure that the arch is at the desired angle. I don't know if that's a desired angle. I probably should be looking this up. Actually, I'm going to do a lot wider swoop. So I'm going to start from here. Just pretend that yellow part never happened. I want it to be a lot steeper. We'll start over here. And actually connect it to this farther side. Like that. I might have just messed myself up by doing that, but I wanted it to connect over here. And just bring it out. Widen it as it goes. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Joel, this looks terrible. You're terrible. You should feel terrible. Well, you might be right. But you never know until the end result what you actually have. So if it looks bad, don't get discouraged. Just keep trying. And a lot of times with my customs, I do actually make a lot of mistakes. Especially with the color schemes. They don't always go according to plan. But I just keep at it, and I keep adding things, and I keep tweaking it, and I eventually get to something I like. So for instance, if I don't like this swirl design that I have on here, it's not too late to just cover this and do like half of it yellow, half of it another color, or do it this way and do half one color, half one way. So if you do make a mistake, it's never too late to change it. Just keep that in mind. Actually, I probably should have done this a lot differently. A lot differently, guys. I made a mistake. Let's see. What I should have done was I should have measured what I was trying to do and just drew it out. So in theory, that should be not as ugly as it is. That is pretty ugly. So what we are going to do is we are going to do what I just said, and I'm going to actually make it half and half because I don't like the way this is turning out, and I'm panicking. I'm like, panic, everybody freak out. No, I'm not panicking, but I am going to do half and half because this swirly design I need to do more research on and do some practice pieces before I try to attempt the video. And there's a lesson to be learned here, people, that you should always be prepared. Maybe that's the video. In secret, I'm trying to teach you how to be prepared for life and disappointment. You thought you were clicking on a video of me painting a shield, and all of a sudden I go into this sermon about how you should be patient and be able to adapt when things go wrong and not get overwhelmed. And you didn't know that the whole time. Just joking. I joke. So now that it looks like I just painted an umbrella onto this shield, we are going to we'll assess the situation, see what we got going here. Now I'm trying to get as close to this as possible because I'm going to paint the rim of this silver. So I just don't want to put too much, but I don't want too little because I will need it. I will need it there. Where we're supposed to go. Now I could do the whole thing yellow. Don't want to. This yellow is actually drying faster than I thought, which is kind of cool, but at the same time I don't want it to dry. Like that's at the bottom is already, it's already dried. So now let's see. Okay, I can work with this. Go and clean off my paintbrush. I always clean off the brush. I should do this a different way because I just wipe it on a paper towel, and I probably should actually get some paint thinner to clean it. But in the moment, it's not going to work. So now we take our blue. This is kind of like a dark blue, like a navy blue kind of. I don't really know what you're going to call it, but we're going to get a wee bit of that on the end of our brush. See how this works. I do like the contrast of blue and yellow, but I don't know how this is going to work for a shield because this might be too dark, might be too blue. But you never know until you do it. So just do it. I'm going to paint that. You want to make sure you get enough paint on your brush. Get like just a little bead of it, and then you can just move it around like so. I gotta be careful with that top part because if that yellow is still wet, then I will accidentally drag it into the blue side, which I don't want to do. And it's okay that I don't get all of that yellow because I will be painting that top part silver. So it's going to get covered up eventually, just probably not with the blue. Move it along. Okay, so now that I realize that I have more of it yellow than I do blue, which is not cool. If you do want to paint over a spot that might still be wet, what you need to do is get more paint on your brush than is actually on the wet spot. You kind of just want to overwhelm it with paint, so if it's too thin then it's going to start going together, but you just want to get like a lot. Not like a whole lot, but a good bead that's going to just cover over that line. Enough, or I think I just said glue. Enough paint to like offset it. So now we have half and half, which is super awesome. It's actually looks a lot better than it did before, which again, if it doesn't look good, don't give up. Keep doing different designs, and it's not too late to change this design. I could easily put like some more blue and some more yellow. I could do a lot of things with this at this point. So what we're going to do now, this has to actually dry And it's probably going to be drying while I'm talking, and hopefully it will be dry enough to put the silver around the edge. I think it should be. So we're going to work on that, and I will also be putting the centerpiece, which came off a different shield that I tried to work. This is an older shield, so that's why I want to use those colors, but this is an actual better shape for the shield. This was actually a button, and it was good, but I needed something different. So, but from that, I took off this thing from the middle, which I showed you earlier in the video that I'll put in the center, which is going to look epic. And I got to glue that on. So, this is the tricky part, because when you paint the edges, that's why you hold it by the edges. So if you're painting the edges, you don't have anything to hold. So, I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but the thing I put on the back for the figure to hold, I'm actually going to grab that with my tweezer bees. So it is going to be it's going to move, which unfortunately I can't really avoid, but it should work. As long as I'm pushing down on it, it should be okay. It's not going to fall. That's the main thing. You don't want it to go anywhere. So we're going to take our silver, which I need to shake this up because my silver is really old. I think I need to get new silver because you can see that color at the bottom. Like, it's not, there's like different layers. It's like when you look at those pictures of like different layers of the earth, there's like dinosaur bones in this layer. So I'm gonna just shake this up. Shake, shake, shake. So now that it's kind of shaken, it's okay. I use my paint shaken, not stirred. I'll also use this handy dandy tool right here, which if you put it onto the lid of stuffs and you grip it, it's so much easier. Oh, it makes life so much easier. This is probably the best Christmas present that my dad has ever given me. This was like a couple years ago. I use it almost every day, or every time I paint, I use it, because these things, at least testers, they tend to like the lids. The paint dries around the seal and it like glues it together. Alrighty, so now that we have our silver paint, we're just going to dump it right here in the middle. You can see, no, I'm joking. Get a little bit of that. Now this silver paint runs like crazy. Actually, I shouldn't have done that because I need to put that little bead back on. But silver paint, it's like painting with water. It is crazy how much that stuff moves around. So you got to use that silver paint very sparingly, which I will get to in just a moment. But for the time being, I'm going to attach this little dot back to where it belongs. Now I have a really small hole punch, and I use the thicker metal because the thinner metal, it did not work at all, which is sad. So unfortunately, the metal for my armor packs, for the time being, you probably won't be able to use it for those, unless you have a better hole punch than I do, because my hole punch is really old. Sorry, I did that off camera, but I just put a little bead of glue there, and I pushed that rivet back on. So now let's put this back, like so. And just like that, we're ready to roll. Now I'm going to do a technique on this called mandametaling. It's actually not called that, I just made that up. But I want the rivets to be a darker color. So I'm going to put the silver on those last, and then I'm going to cover them with another color. And it's going to give it a look of not just plain silver. It's going to kind of give it like that rivet look. I feel like every time I say rivet, that's like a frog saying ribbit. I don't know if everyone else is getting that connection, but I every time I say it, it's like, I don't like frogs, so that's why it's kind of like, stop it. So this process is going to take a while. Luckily for everyone else who's watching this, I upgraded iMovie, so hopefully I'll be able to use it and edit this video, so it's not going to be like 5 years long. So instead of you watching me go around this entire shield rambling, I don't know, maybe you want to see me go around this whole shield rambling. I'm trying to think of stuff to talk about. It's kind of hard to focus and talk. I also realized when I play video games, if I did record it, I do a lot better when I'm not talking. So I might just do like commentaries over my stuff, because I've watched this one guy play, and he just straight up played the game. He was playing like Metro or something like that, and he didn't even talk. He just played it. Yeah, and he had a lot of views and stuff, and people enjoyed it. So if you don't want to hear my terrible voice commentating, I could do that. I need a bigger paintbrush. That's what I need. 2 hours later. Takes a long time, so you just gotta be patient. I mean, you want it to be right. You gotta take your time. My only fear at this point is if my camera is gonna die. We get good on battery? Okay. Sometimes it's just like flashing, like warning, warning, warning. Feel like the battery's gonna die. Sirens go off and it's scary, and then it's like I feel like I'm racing against the clock, which nobody needs that added pressure. It's not good for anybody's health. So we're just gonna make sure we're going all the way around. Again, once you've done like one side, you kind of know what you're doing. So sorry that I'm not capturing all of this on camera. Wasn't even paying attention to where the camera was facing. But I'm just trying to paint all around these. Like, you don't have to do these rivets either. You don't have to do any of this stuff. You can do a shield your own way. This is just the way that I do in the first one I've ever done. You gotta start somewhere, and this is where I started. Almost around. And silver dries really fast as well, so it might actually be dry by the time I get around, or the starting of it might be dry. I realized too that painting silver on top of gray is kind of hard to see. It's hard to see where I didn't paint in certain spots. But yeah, I upgraded the new iMovie, which I thought I had to pay for it, but apparently that's if you don't have it at all. I think, because the logo hasn't changed, or the icon hasn't changed on my desktop, so part of it's like, did I actually get it? But then I clicked on it, and it looked new and updated and all that stuff. So the reason I wanted the new one is because the old one was like the hardest thing in the world to figure out. And I couldn't find any tutorials on it because it is so old that not a lot of people are actually doing tutorials on it. And so the new one, hopefully there's actually a ton of people showing you how to use it. So that will be awesome, because then I can learn how to use it and I can edit this stuff. So now that I just painted over the rivets with the silver, time is of the essence. I don't know where that term came from. I know what it means, but it doesn't sound like it means what it should. Now I'm going to use my black, which I just realized my black paint is basically dried up because it's stupid. Okay, it's working a little bit better. So now this part is, I'm trying to find my other paintbrush, that's why I'm looking around. This part is kind of classified. It's an advanced technique. Let's see, I'll get a little bit of paint from the cap, because that's, okay. Going to take a little bit of black. I did this backwards. I did this completely backwards. I should have put the black one first. Yeah. Let me redo this. I messed up, but this is one of those mistakes that can be easily corrected. So I'm going to put black on these rivets first. Well, second, because I already painted them silver. You put the black down, and then when the black is starting to dry, you add the silver, and they swirl together, and it looks really cool. It gives it a multicolored metal look. That's what we were trying to achieve. Whew. My arm just got really tingly. That was weird. Alright, so that's that. That's going to take a moment to dry, but I'm going to edit the video so you won't have to watch it dry. Unless you want to watch it dry, let me know for next time, and you can watch it dry. We will watch it dry together. Put the lid back on so that does not dry up. And I realized when I had the silver out, I needed to paint my battle axe. There's a battle axe. I'm gonna do that while I'm waiting. Well, actually, no, I can't do that while I'm waiting because this process is kind of time sensitive. I can't let that black paint fully dry. I forgot. My bad. Get a wee bit of silver. Not too much though. Just want to poke that. Okay. Did it again. I need to let that black dry just a little bit more because it's coming off of the because it's not dry when I touch it. It's coming off with the paintbrush, and I can see the copper behind it, which I don't want to see. I don't want to see any copper. And the thing is, I put a bead of glue. I don't know why I keep saying glue. This is not glue. I put a bead of silver, and that's why it's taking a little bit longer to dry. Let's try the next one. It's like that's why I said it's advanced technique, because there's a lot of timing involved, and because you're dealing with a very, very small amount of paint, so there's also the skill involved of trying to determine how much is too much and too little. And it looks a lot better on figures. I haven't really done it on on actual metal before. Oh, I've done it on metal, but I'm trying to see if I'm looking around to see if I can find anything that has it on it. But I do it a lot for my battle damaged metal. The battle damage armor that my figures have has a lot of this on it, but it looks a little bit different on those figures. And also some weapons. I've done it too. See, if I push down too much, you can see the copper. Let me see if it focuses. You might be able to see it right there. When I shine it, you see that right there, how that different color. The copper is shining back through, which I'm trying to avoid. Maybe I should have painted the axe while I was waiting. Let's just do this. Add a little bit more black to it, and then just start it again. Okay, now I got my rivets placed. I'm going to put the black back on. So the rivets have now been, they're good enough. That's how I want them. You can see that it's obviously, when you look around it, that they stand out from the rest of the shield, which is what we were trying to do. And the middle should be dried enough for me to place the centerpiece, which I will do, but I need my tweezer bees. So what I'm going to do, transfer the shield to another hook, like that. Grab said centerpiece, like so. Put a wee, whoa, that's weird. Whoa, no. My glue was kind of not gluey, it was like sticky. Put a little bit of glue, I don't need a lot. And if you put too much glue, then you'll see the bead ooze up in between everything. So, kind of just dropped it on there, but I dropped it centered pretty much. So that is centered onto the shield, which looks super awesome. And that is that. I may add some more detail, but at this point I don't think I will. And then I will finish painting this axe, which is just painting silver around that white part, and then the blade. That stuff's not too complicated, but I will do a video on how to do the axe from start to finish. This video is mainly on the shield. So my camera is actually flashing the low battery, so I'm going to start panicking now and talking really fast to end this video. So with that being said, hopefully you all enjoyed this video. It'll be the first video that I actually edited it. So it won't be super long, but if you did like it, if you enjoyed this shield, I will try to make more cooler designs and newer stuff. This is the first one, so keep in mind this is the first shield that I made like this. So I do have that one, but it's different. First attempt, I guess, is the second attempt. So if it's not the best, it's because I'm new at it, and I gotta keep practicing, like you guys. So if you liked it, hike it. Don't forget to fist pound the subscribe button up in here, and I will put a link to the contest right here. Don't forget that. I also put tutorials like this one up here. Go check that out. Also, if you're the first person, sorry, I'm losing my voice. The first person to leave a comment will get a shout out, which I'll put right up here in the description. If you have content on your video or on your channel, I'll put a link to that as well. Y'all have an awesome day. God bless, and I will see you later. Bye.